Hello, my name is Hello Developer Tom and welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to pick up items. So for this we're going to use a cannon that you can get on the Patreon for free. Just scroll down and go over here and click on cannon, download it on your computer, then unzip the folder, and then after you unzip it, drag and drop it into your project folder. As you can see, we're on the project window and we dragged and drop it into here. Now it's over here. Click it and we're gonna select this one. Just place it into the game. Now select the material and color it. We're gonna make it black. This is gonna be it. Alright, so this is something that we're gonna be able to pick up and we're gonna be using it as a weapon later. So first of all, we're gonna add this object to the player, so select our capsule and we're gonna rename it player. Now drag and drop it over here and we're gonna set it all to 0. Like this, and as you can see it's too big, so we're gonna set it to 1. Okay, now it's too small and let's try 25. Okay, I think this is gonna be fine. We're gonna put it to the right side, so like this, and we're gonna rotate it to 0 and use it like this. Or maybe let's just put it to the left side, put it like this. Now what we're gonna do is put it a little bit outside like this, and now let's hide it. So select it over here. Over here, as you can see, there's a check mark. Unclick it. So now it's hidden. Alright, so now what we have to do is duplicate this. So we're gonna select this and select duplicate, and we're gonna put it over here inside, outside of the player. So as you can see, the other cannon is right here and we have another one over here. Now check this one and we're gonna put it somewhere on the map. So let's just put it down here. Okay, so this is gonna be an object that we're gonna be able to pick up. Like this. Now let's also make an animation for it. We're gonna make an animation, a simple animation. We're gonna click over here and we're gonna type animation. Okay, now after you added this, you're gonna go to Windows. You're gonna go under Window and select Animation and Animation again. Now just drag it over here. If it hasn't been added automatically yet, just drag it over here and click Create. Over here we're gonna name it Pickup Cannon. Okay, as you can see, the animation has been created. So by clicking over here, we started to record the animation. Now we can change the values over here and it's gonna be saved. Alright, so now what we want to change in the animation is the rotation of it. So we're gonna go over here, we're just gonna set it to 45, or let's just set it to 0, like this. And now we're gonna go a couple milliseconds forward and we're gonna go 0.2. So after 0.2 seconds, it's gonna go to 90. And then after another 0.2 seconds, it's gonna go to 360. Like this. Okay, so this is not gonna be fine because it's rotating from over here. So to fix this, we're gonna add another object. We're gonna create another object. We have another game object and name it cannon pickup. We're gonna put the cannon, first of all, we're gonna put it under the cannon and set it to 0 so it's on the same position like this, and also rotation to 0. Now we're gonna drag it out of it. We're gonna put it over here, so under the player, and set it to 0 also. And now we're gonna drag and drop the cannon inside of the cannon pickup. Okay, so now after you've done that, we can delete the rotation because this is not working properly. And we're gonna try to center it. So after we rotate this object, we want to rotate it in the middle. So to do this, we're just gonna drag it over here like this. And let's try to rotate it. Okay, it's still not good. We're gonna rotate it back. And we're gonna move it a little bit more forward like this, and let's try it again. Okay, it's still not perfect, but just move it a little bit more like this, and let's try it out. Alright, this is gonna be fine. So if the cannon is not picked up, this is gonna be our animation, and we go over here, select the cannon, and we're gonna remove the animation over here. Now we're gonna go over here, click add component on the cannon pickup and select the animation. Now we're gonna go back to over here. We already created an animation, we're just gonna drag and drop it over here. And now let's go back under animation. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna set it to 1 and back to 0, just so we saved the rotation on the 0 seconds. Now move it to 0.2, set it to 180. Now go forward to 0.4 and set it to 360. Alright. Okay, so we have a full rotation. Now click over here, so it's no longer saving the changes that we make into the animation. Click under project and select the animation, and over here under wrap mode we're gonna set it to loop, so it's looping. Now if we start the game, as you can see, we have a simple animation. We want it to be a little bit slower, so we're gonna go back into the animation window, select cannon pickup, go under animation, and we're gonna select both. Click shift on your keyboard and select all the keys like this, and we're gonna drag it out a little bit. We're gonna actually drag it to 1.3 over here. And now we're gonna go under curves and right click over here and set it to flat. Now we're gonna go back to project and play the game. Alright, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be our animation. Now stop the game and click over here. And we're gonna actually add a collider. So add component and add a box collider. Like this. As you know, colliders can be used to prevent the objects to pass through each other, but the colliders can be also used to detect collisions. Over here we have is triggered. It's not selected right now. If this is selected, this means that the objects can pass through each other, but the collisions are still detected. So we're gonna check this. Okay, so this is it. As you can see, we have a box collider over here. So as soon as the player is gonna go over here, we're gonna make it so the player picks up the item. Now we also have to add a tag. So we're gonna go over here, we're gonna add a tag. Add tag, we'll go over here and name it pickup cannon. Okay, we have a new tag. Now we have to go back to over here and add the tag pickup cannon. Alright, so this is fine. Now let's go back to our player and we're gonna open our player control script. So in our script, first of all, we're gonna link our cannon to our script. So we're gonna type public game object. We're gonna name it weapon cannon. Okay, this is gonna be fine. Now let's save the script. Go back to the game. Now scroll down, and as you can see, we have to link an object. Click over here and link your cannon to the script. So as you can see, under the player, there's a cannon. We're gonna drag and drop it over here. Okay, so this is gonna be fine. Okay, so now let's go back to the script. Now scroll down, we're gonna add another function under onCollision enter. So go under this and here type private void on trigger enter. Type collider and we're gonna type other. Now add these brackets. So Unity is gonna automatically run this function if the player enters a trigger. So over here we're gonna check the tag of the trigger first. So we're gonna type if other.gameObject.tag is this, whatever we type inside of this. So we go back to Unity and we check the tag. Click over here and we named it pickup cannon. We have to be careful over here, we have to name it the same way. So pickup cannon. Like this. Double check it. Okay, I think it's correct. Now we're gonna add these brackets, press enter. So if the player enters a trigger, it's gonna run this function automatically. the trigger is going to be saved into other, and in the if statement we check the tag of the trigger. So when the player enters a trigger, it checks the tag of the object with the trigger, and if the tag of the object is pickup cannon, then it's going to run the code inside these brackets. So we're going to use an illusion that games often use. So once the player enters the trigger, we're going to delete this object, and then we're going to activate this one that we already prepared how it's going to look on the player. So let's go back to the script. Over here we're going to destroy the object with the trigger, so we're going to type destroy. Add these brackets and add this at the end, and over here we have to tell the destroy which object are we destroying. So we're going to type other.gameObject. So we're destroying the object with the trigger. And after this we have to activate the weapon that we linked. So we linked the weapon inside of the script under the name weapon cannon. So to do this we're going to type over here, we're going to type weapon cannon dot set active, and we're going to use these brackets and type true. Alright, so this was a very simple code. So when the player enters a trigger, Unity is automatically going to run this code. It's going to check the tag of the trigger. If the tag of the trigger is pickup cannon, then it's going to destroy the game object with the trigger and activate our cannon weapon that we already prepared how it's going to look on the player. Now let's save the code, go back to Unity, press start, press W, and let's move to the cannon and pick it up. Boom! As you can see, it's working. Alright, so this was a very simple video. Now we have a cannon, and in the next tutorial we're gonna learn how to shoot the cannon. Alright, so this is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped you, leave a like. In the next tutorial we're gonna learn how to shoot the cannon, so if you'd like to see that, please subscribe to the channel.